Do you think it's fair to say, though, that for courts and people, but especially for courts and judges, the advancement is so fast that it is very hard to keep up with any sort of regulation or case precedent at this point? Because even the ones you've mentioned in 3 more months may be completely useless because AI may have advanced that far. And also, do you think that the legal profession overall is underestimating how much AI is changing confidentiality itself and privilege?
Yeah. So first of all, thank you for calling, saying that listening to me is fascinating. I know a lot of people disagree with that assessment. So I
We are
appreciate that.
AI geeks here. Yeah.
Maybe there's a
AI
maybe
wonks.
there's a low bar here. I'm not quite sure. But I think that in the first point, yes, I definitely think I think most people are underestimating how fast it's moving. I certainly underestimated how fast it's moving. I mean, back in like early last year, I think I started learning about it, right? Hearing about it, took some, like, just in my own spare time, started watching YouTube videos, reading about how to build a prompt. And initially I was kind of unimpressed. It wasn't able to really do very much in terms of February 2025. Fast forward 6 months. It's now like starting able to do a lot of tasks that I like. Again, still limited to ministerial tasks. Now I'm writing briefs with it, right? Throw in, a Dalbert motion I had recently. I throw in a copy of the report. I throw in the case law that I've, have written. I give it basic instructions of what I want it to focus on, and it writes me out what I think is a great first draft. I'm not saying the whole thing's usable. 60% though is quite well written, and I need to kind of retool it a little bit, obviously. But and obviously, I put my mental impressions and thought processes into it. That it's all opinion work product until the final draft that gets filed. But yeah, no, I think it's certainly moving really fast. The fact that technology companies are going to maybe even considering changing their standard work product from Word or PDFs to README is just one indication of that. And then secondarily, yeah, absolutely think that to answer your second question, I absolutely think that lawyers are underestimating the privilege and confidentiality concerns. And I think that I've seen this at every level, right? In-house counsel, outside counsel. There's a lot of depends on your risk profile again, but there is some risk here and there in terms of how you want to maintain that defensibility argument. Excuse me. And until there's a really strong body of case law that maybe goes which way, I think you have to take a little bit more of a precautionary approach in terms of, again, very low burden, right? Building into certain aspects in the tools, mandating a human review, or just a couple. And there's obviously a huge amount of things you could build into a policy, a broad range based on what you're doing exactly. But I definitely think that that there is an underestimation of that, and you're going to see maybe some mistakes that are made. I mean, have you already seen mistakes that are made within ethics, right? People are just generating these hallucination cases, and it's shocking to me that nobody actually just looks at the case in general. And I wouldn't have, you always look at the case. I mean, the AI tool is great at analyzing. You throw the case in there, it analyzes the case, but you obviously want to make sure that the case stands for what it just helps you kind of direct you to the right part and make sure that you can analyze a little faster.